Hi, this is James Byron. Today, we're going to talk about some resources that are very helpful to you as a beginning jazz player. Okay, if you're learning to play jazz, these are resources that most jazz players have. Okay, at least two of them. They're resources that most jazz players have as their references that they really rely on. Okay, so we're going to take a look at those. One of them is a fake book. Let's talk about what is a fake book exactly to begin with. Fake books are fake books are music that they're not arrangements. Okay, they're just the chords and the melody. And like here's an old style one. What they used to do in the old days is they used to have a notebook. Everybody used to have a notebook, and they would write these songs down. They write them out by hand, okay? And then they would pass notebooks around. People would copy it. Oh, I don't have that song. So they would copy that out in their notebook, right? So this is kind of like that, okay? And you can see that it's got. You see also see that's kind of just has the chords and the melody, and it's written in there by hand, okay? This one's a photocopy of one of those, okay? Somebody's notebook, okay? And this is what it started out with. Well, sometime in the 70s, they came out with a fake book, which was became very popular and kind of became a standard. To begin with, it was bootleg. It was, no copyright was paid to anybody. Okay, but sometime along the line, Hal Leonard Publishing got the rights to most of the songs in the original real book, and they published this. Okay, the real book, and so most jazz musicians have this and rely on it, either this one or the original one. Okay, if they're old people like me, right? Okay, and it's great. It has the chords and melody. It's very readable. Okay, and it has many of the jazz standards that jazz musicians rely on. Okay, they use it. So and it has the chords and the melody, which is nice. Okay, so you can learn the melodies to the tunes in the real book. It's a fabulous resource. When you're starting out learning jazz, this is a great thing to have, okay? So really a great resource. It's, you can get it at, jazzbooks.com, Jamie Abersold's site. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's $25. At least this copy that I have is $25. The price may have gone up, I'm not sure. That's kind of pricey, okay? Fake books are just generally pricey, but this is a real resource. So you know what? It's an investment, and it's a worthwhile investment. Okay. Another worthwhile investment is this book here. It's called Pocket Changes. It's a footnote. Pocket changes. Okay, pocket changes. What are changes? Changes are like chord changes. Okay. So a chord progression, jazz musicians will call those, we'll call improvising, playing over changes. Just a chord progression. That's what changes are, right? So these are pocket changes, and that's all they are. There's no melody in here. It's just the chords, okay? The stuff like that. Like here's John Coltrane's Countdown, right? It's just the chords. And so you would think, well, that's kind of limited in its usefulness. But here's the thing is that nowadays, if you're getting together to jam with some people, this is probably what they're going to pull from. This is kind of where they're going to get their changes. There's variations in chord progressions for different songs. This is kind of where people are using this today as the standard from where they're getting the chord changes. So if you have this, learn the melodies on your own to go with this, and you just use this. Just use the pocket changes. Really, it's a good resource. Something that eventually you're going to need to have anyway. It's a good thing to have. This is, guess what, $25. It's expensive. It's pricey. But you know what? Again, it's an investment. And one other tool that I recommend, especially for the beginning jazz player, is something called Band in a Box. And probably the best thing for me to do is to show that to you so you can see what that is.
Okay, so this is Band in a Box. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this with a song that I wrote so that we don't have any copyright issues. And so I come up here and I load in this song, and you see that we've got the chords for the song here, right? I can do a lead sheet view where I've got the melody of the song, right? I can print this out you know, so that I've got nice a really nice lead sheet, chords and melody. Okay, so that's a great resource right there. Okay, and so basically what this does is this provides the jazz band. Okay, so when I start this out, I've got this thing playing my melody. Okay, so let me just do a little bit of that. Okay, so this is great for learning the melodies of things. I mean, if you're wanting to learn some jazz standards from the real book or pocket changes, you can listen to the melody of a song you never heard before, right? You can listen to the melody, kind of learn how it goes, okay? And so the real value of this thing comes once you get through playing through the melody. Okay, so if I got all the way through the chorus here and it starts to go around again. Let me just play the last little part of this. See, so now what it's doing is just playing the chords. Comping changes is what they call that, right? And so what you can do is you can learn to improvise over this chord progression. You know, so that's what this is valuable for learning the songs that you don't know. It's basically the band, the jazz band, that allows you to improvise over the chord progressions that you're interested in. One's in the pocket changes, one's in the real book. Most of the songs that are in those two things, you can download those off the internet in band-in-a-box format. So it's like you don't even have to do a lot of entering, right? It's like you can just get them, go out there and get them, which is great, okay? Another thing you can do, like this is a particular style, right? Okay, well, I can go in and change the style. Let's change this thing to maybe a bossa nova or something. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So then when I play it, it's so you can see this is an awesome tool, right? So if you're entering in a bossa nova tune, something by Jobim, Wave or Desafinato or something, you can use this style, and it plays it for you just like you would be playing with a jazz band. So you can see what a valuable resource this is.
So Band in the Box runs about $130 if you're buying it for the first time. If you already have it and you're upgrading, it's like $70 or $80, I think, something like that. You might be able to find it cheaper if you get a copy on eBay or something like that. It's expensive. All these things are expensive, but they are investments. So if you're going to learn jazz, these are good things to have. You don't have to have these. You don't have to have Band in a Box. But you know what? It really makes it easier. So if you can get it, I would highly recommend that. So real book, pocket changes, and Band in a Box. Those are some really good resources for you to have when you're starting out learning jazz.